Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for a new episode of A New Go of New Home Sales. I'm your host, Anya Chrysanthemum, and joining me today is a dear friend, Erin LeCorgne. Erin is the chair of NAHB's YP committee this year. So I'm very excited to have Erin on today because this week we're celebrating the NAHB's YP week, and we're going to talk a lot about NAHB YP, what it means to be YP, what resources are available to us, and all the good stuff. So welcome to the show, Erin. I'm so excited to have you on today, and thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Anya. I'm so excited to be here.
So my first question to you is, for those people who may not know who you are, I always love to get into it by giving your story. So tell us, how did you come to be in home building industry, and what is it that you do now?
So I was pretty much born into the home building industry. My dad was both a builder and an associate. So I've seen both sides of it growing up, and I truly understand both sides of it and how important both are to the home building industry. Right now, I am actually business development manager for Converge Resources, and we specialize in IT and automation. So it's really fun, even though it's something that's not specific to home building, it's still something that ties into the industry because so much of our homes and what we do and our businesses are surrounded with it. So it's really incredible to be able to still be in an industry where it's not automatically directly related, but we're still able to be a part and kind of coincide. We all build.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So, Erin, I must ask, as the NHBYP chair, can you share your why? What motivates you and really drives your passion for the home building industry? Obviously, it is time consuming. So, what is your why? Why are you doing this?
My why is I can't imagine not doing it. Like I said, I grew up in it. I can't imagine being in this industry and not being a part of the home builders. I can't imagine not being a member and not being involved in giving back to other members and other youth in the industry and really try to help build our industry with young people because it's so important to bridge that generational gap. It is a lot of time, and I'm a single mom with 3 kids. And so for me, I truly get the time that it takes to be here, but it's so important. I have 2 of them in high school now, and they're all involved in the student councils. And they're like, "Oh, mom, it's kind of like your HBA stuff." Yes, that's exactly, like this, your school and the state and the national, and he's involved in the local school stuff and in the state stuff. So it's fun watching them being able to correlate it to stuff that they do now. And I think that's what's so important is our future.
I love it. So, you're really leading your children by example. So, love that. So, Erin, can you share some of the values and objectives of the NHB Young Professional Program? Like, how does YP help emerging leaders in home building industry?
So one of the big priorities of the Young Professionals program is to really engage and be a landing spot for young professionals in the industry. Because so much of our industry, let's be honest, it's that aging male, and you sit around the table with the old gray haired or bald headed guys, and young people don't wanna come sit at a table with their dad and their grandparent. They just don't. I don't, I promise. But it's so important for us to be a place where they can come and see like-minded individuals who have the same struggles raising kids and juggling families and jobs and the digital world where we don't have to be a part of this for friends because we coaching kids games and our lives are so different than they were before. So it's just really important for us to have this landing spot for young professionals where we can help them engage, learn the ins and outs of the industry, provide mentorship and leadership opportunities. And that's really the point and the focus of YP and what we can be for our leaders.
Yeah, I love that. And I think for young people who are maybe thinking about getting into home building industry, it can be discouraging to see the white haired gray guys. If you don't see the representation, maybe it's a woman, maybe it's a person of color, right? Like somebody who's not your typical quote unquote home builder, it can be intimidating. Like, is this even the space where I want to get into? So I think it's important for more of us, the more diverse we can make the organization, the more role models we can provide for somebody and hopefully increase participation. So, Erin, what advice would you give to young professionals just starting their careers in home building?
Get involved. Get involved. Say yes. If somebody says, "Hey, do you want to be a part of this committee?" Say yes. I probably say yes too much, but say yes. Ask questions, get involved, say yes. You want to be there. Even if you don't know what you don't know. So it's a good opportunity to find out what's out there. You may find out maybe this isn't something I'm interested in, but now you know. And now you know that that's not the route you want to go and you want to go a different one. And so that's what's so great about getting involved and getting involved early and doing
Yes.
as much as you can. And when you find something, give it your all because you're going to get out of it what you put into it, truly.
I agree with you. And I think NHBYP is such an easy place to get involved because you can start with just a little bit and kind of test the waters and see what's available, or you can jump all in. So you can definitely control how much you want to be involved. But speaking of being involved with NHBYP, can you tell us how has being involved really impacted your own career journey and your leadership development?
It has been the most incredible opportunity. The people that I've met and the relationships and networks throughout the entire country, the expert in our industry that I can reach out to on any given day at any point in time and know that they're willing to help me and they're a resource I can go to and they're a guide. The mentorship opportunities on both sides to be able to help others, but also of people who are willing to be like, here, let me show you and I'll guide you along. It's so valuable and it's something that I never would have had if if not being involved. And I just can't stress that enough as how important that is.
I feel exactly the same way. So I also have a mentor that I was involved with early on, and it made all the difference for me. And if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have found NHBYP. So thinking about your younger self, what piece of advice would you give to your younger self starting out in home building?
Probably similar. Say yes and get involved if given the opportunity to lead, even if you don't think you're necessarily ready for it. Other people sometimes see something inside of you that you don't see in yourself. So, take that opportunity, make the leap, um, take the chance. That would probably be the biggest thing is take the chance.
Yes. So obviously, sometimes it's easier said than done as far as getting a younger generation involved. So, what do you see as the future of Young Professionals program, and really, what's your vision for continuing to grow and engage the next generation of leaders?
I think we really just need to continue the grassroots efforts, making sure we do everything we can to overcome the obstacles and whatever barriers that would keep the young professionals from being involved, try to make things as easy as we can and accessible. Just that grassroots engagement is really, I think, what's going to be so important because not everybody can come to national. So making sure that we are engaging people at the local is really what's so important to the future of NAHB's YP and just creating those leadership opportunities and the leadership and education I really think are going to be important to the future of YP.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. It is going to be different the way we get engaged with next generation because they're going to be a different generation. Their values are shifting. So, but I'm happy to see that NHB is really staying on top of it and serving us and really asking questions, what they could be doing differently, how the program can shift over time. So I think that's really important too. So Erin, I mentioned that we are celebrating the YP week this week. Let's talk a little bit about some of the activities that we have planned for this week. And actually, just to set the stage, this week we decided to take a little bit of a different approach to the YP celebration because yes, we are young people, but what really separates the YPs is that we are all in some type of a leadership role or we are striving to be leaders. We're growing our leadership skills. Whether it's, leadership at work or even leadership at home, right? We are all most of us are raising young children at home, so we are leaders for those little people at home as well. So this week, we thought we were going to really make an emphasis on leadership development and how a National Association of Home Builders can help us develop as leaders. So on Monday, we're encouraging everybody to share their favorite podcasts, books, or articles that they have read that help them become a better leader. So, Erin, is there a podcast that you personally listen to other than A New Go New Home Sales, of course?
Yes. I love NAHB's podcast. I don't know if you've seen it. Jim Tobin and Paul Lopez do a fantastic job with that. And the whole comms team. It's great. They keep you kind of in the know of what's going on in the world, and you get kind of a little bit of back insight to it. So it's been a great resource for me. And really, NAHB Connect has just been a great resource for me in my career.
I agree with you. That is definitely one of my favorite podcasts. I always look forward to fresh new episodes, and especially when the guys are on the road, it's always fun to hear where they're visiting and what's going on. And when they have special guests, like they had Alicia last episode, it's really insightful, and it's good to keep a pulse of like what's going on within NAHB. And if you guys look at my phone, I have so many podcasts on. So actually today I did share some of my favorites, but I wanted to show you. Let's see. I listen to like everything from UFO Chronicles to Martech to, obviously lots of home building podcasts. I listen to a lot of stuff about social media. You'll find, the Bravo celebrity stuff here for me. But yes, definitely NHB Housing Developments is one of my favorite ones. Shout out to our last year's YP chair, David Bellman. I have his podcast here. It's Home Building Heroes. It's an excellent podcast from the home builder perspective, which is really great. So yeah, I'm a big fan of podcasts. And like I said, I'm all over the spectrum from very industry specific to all over the place, depending on my mood. So moving on to the next, on Tuesday, we are sharing career advice. So Erin, I'd be curious to know what's the most valuable piece of advice that you received in your own career?
Oh, the most valuable advice I've received in my own career would be to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because so much in life is putting yourself out there in uncomfortable situations. And that's when you really realize your true potential and what you can really achieve and do is when you put yourself out there and get outside of your comfort zone. So for me, I think that's been probably one of the most important things. And I find myself telling people that all the time because I feel like that so often that can make the difference in your career level and just moving forward and just little things in life is you just have to put yourself out there and get uncomfortable, being uncomfortable and take that risk. So that would probably be
I
it.
love that. Yeah, that's definitely my motto always. I actually get like really itchy if I'm comfortable. I don't like the feeling of being comfortable, which is like contrary to most people, I think it's being an immigrant from an early age, being put into positions where like you feel uncomfortable. But I 100% agree with you. I'm always looking for those new opportunities and challenges and to push myself forward. And the best piece of advice that I've received is you're either got to be earning or you've got to be learning. in a job. So what I take away from that is, some jobs are going to be high paying jobs and you may not love it necessarily, but if that's what you're after, the money you're earning, it's great, right? Like that's what you're into. But sometimes you may be in a position where you're not making as much money as you could have been making at the time, but what you're getting in return is the learning part. So if you're actually learning a lot, sometimes it's worth taking, I'll say step back, but maybe a less paying job for the opportunity to learn so that in the next part, you can position yourself to earn again. So I thought that was a great piece of advice.
That's
Um,
awesome. I like that a lot.
So let's see, moving on to a Wednesday. So on Wednesday, it involves tagging mentees and mentors. So Erin, I'd love to know, do you have a mentor within NAHB and do you mentor anyone in the organization?
Oh, I have so many mentors at NAHB, and I'm so grateful for all of them because they look out for me and they're my sounding boards. I have my dad, obviously,
Let's
been
shout
a
out your dad.
tremendous.
Who's your dad?
Yeah, Mike LeCorgne. So he's been a huge mentor my entire life, obviously, but he's definitely been tremendous in helping me learn how to maneuver in AHB and the industry. And I can't imagine being here without his guidance. But so many people within AHB that have been tremendous mentors. So it's incredible to be able to have that. So grateful.
I agree with you. So I have one mentor within NAHB, one formal mentor, I guess. But like you, I have many, right? It is when you go to new conferences or anytime we get together, you meet new people. And I am an introvert, believe it or not. So it's not necessarily my natural thing to just be like out there meeting people, but I know it's so beneficial for me because, again, those connections you make, whether they become lifelong friends or it is an opportunity in business that opens up to you. I mean, so many doors have been open for me because of those personal connections. So my mentor is Kimberly Mackey. Shout out to Kimberly. I could not have navigated this world of NHB without her. And she kind of took me under her wing early on. And I am forever grateful for that. And we've kind of grew into having this like natural friendship and mentorship. But yeah, beyond Kimberly, there's definitely a few people that I can think of that have helped me in some form or shape to get to where I am today. NHB does have some programs specifically to grow those types of relationships. So if you're looking for a mentor or if you want to mentor somebody, there is a program that's called, I want to say it's NHB Mentor Connect. I will link to it in the show notes, but you can search for specific people based on the skills. So for example, maybe if you're a marketing person or if you're in IT or technology or, a custom home builder, you want to find people who specialize in similar activities so that you can learn from them. Again, they'll reinvent the wheel, find people who've done what you want to do, and you can get connected that way. And then you can go from there. So I'll be sure to link all those resources. But yeah, that's one of my favorite things is that there's no shortage of opportunities to learn from people at NHB, and everybody's always so willing to help each other.
Absolutely. Another really good opportunity is the Builder 10 and Builder 20 groups. I haven't personally had any experience with it, but I know everyone who has said it has been life changing for them in their business. So if you are a builder, I would absolutely recommend looking into those because that's another opportunity through NAHB that really it's a life changing thing. So, and it's a mentor type thing, but it's more than that. It's businesses getting together and really helping each other without that competitiveness. So it's an incredible thing.
Yeah, I think from what I understand, it's almost like a mastermind, right? And where they get builders who are, again, doing something similar to each other, but they're in markets that are not competing with each other. So again, you're learning directly from somebody who's doing exactly what you're doing, but in a different market. So it's not a conflict of interest. I'll definitely link to that. And let's see here. On Thursday, we're going to be sharing our leadership development stories. So, Erin, do you have a story that you can maybe share with us about your own personal growth within NAHBYT?
I think the most incredible thing about the leadership opportunity I've been given as the YP chair was I've been invited to SEBC, and I was given the opportunity to speak on a panel there to YPs and to speak with student chapters and the young leaders in the industry, these high school students who are just getting involved, and these girls who are coming up. Like, it's so cool to see a woman in the industry and watching and talk. I got to judge the student competition, which that may have been one of the most incredible and rewarding things I've ever done since being involved in the home builders, is seeing these kids' passion and the thought process and everything that they've done to get there. It was so rewarding and so exciting, and that was just incredible. But also for me, it's not so much as the opportunities to for myself, but it's being able to see other leaders within our federation and being able to give them the opportunity to be seen and heard, and a platform for their ideas to be heard and seen, and for them to be able to be seen within the organization. So that way they have those leadership opportunities. So those have been two of the most incredible things that I've gotten out of it.
I love that. So for me, again, it's going to relate to the mentorship aspect of it. So when I got involved with NAHB, I was just starting to speak. It was always my passion. In my previous role, I used to travel all over the place and speak. So I knew I wanted to do the same in our industry, but I didn't really know how to get started. And so Kimberly Mackey, again, was a speaker, right? She spoke at IBS, International Builders Show, at all these other different conferences. So I wanted to specifically connect with her on the topics of how do you become a speaker? How do you get involved? How can you grow this? So that is one of the cool things for me to see, that when I started off on the sidelines, right, watching her, watching some of my peers in industry, now I'm standing on stage and speaking to them. So again, goes back to emulating somebody that you're looking up to, somewhere you want to go. Again, find out who's doing that and just get a shortcut. Get it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. So let's see. And then Friday is going to be all about our motivation for why we're doing what we're doing. As you mentioned early in this podcast, when you shared your why, it can be a lot, right? Like, we're sacrificing our time. We are traveling to offsite meetings several times a year. Next one coming up in February, the end of February, for International Builder Show, which is in Vegas. So great place to be. So if you haven't bought your ticket to IBS, if you've never attended, definitely great event to attend. And you can come a little bit earlier if you want to be part of those leadership meetings. But
And get your ticket for the Young Pro Party.
well, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to go this year because I'm technically 41, turning 41.
Well,
So
I'm 41, but
40.
we're just gonna say that you just say that you're under 40 when you go to get the ticket, and that you get the ticket.
All right. Yeah. But that's always a good time for sure.
And it sells out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It definitely sells out every year. So if you're thinking about going, I would definitely buy the ticket early, and yeah, and get it going. And I mean, at the end of the day, what, you're going to Vegas, like, it's a great opportunity. I mean, I think IBS is just one of those things that is so much fun, right? Like, I mean, and it can be overwhelming because there's so many people there. It's insane. But at the same time, it's a great opportunity to kind of see everybody at the same place, right? Like, It's a great opportunity to meet so many different people. The show floor is crazy because you get to see all the new products, the education, of course. I mean, I feel like there's a lot for everyone, right? Like it doesn't matter what you're into, you're going to find something that you'll be into. So,
You'll be one of our speakers, right?
yes, I'll be presenting a session, at least one session, I believe. So, yes, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Me
And then
too.
again, comes back, right? As another example. Now I'm speaking at IBS, which was my dream, sitting on the sidelines wondering, oh, how can I be involved? How can I become a part of that? But I think like that part of my why is again, I don't necessarily think like, oh, it's because I want to further my career or I want to get sort of deal or something. For me, it always comes back to those personal relationships. I've just been amazed at how my life has changed since I really started to invest in my personal relationships. So I think, again, going to these meetings is a great opportunity to see everybody in person, get together, meet new people. So I'm always, always, always wanting to meet people and just, stay on top of my friends. Yeah, we all party together. It's the best part is like the after hours, right? Oftentimes it's in the hallways, the bars and whatever else.
It's those after conversations that, the meetings and all are great and all, but it's where the business takes place and the relationships. And that's what it's really about. I think the biggest thing is you never regret going.
Yeah.
You regret not going. And, the hassle and the time and the money and all the logistics of getting there but you get there and it's the education and the experiences and the networking opportunities and like it's all there and you never sit there like, oh, that wasn't worth it. You sit there at the end and you're exhausted.
Yes.
and, and you need a couple of days off after, but you never regret it. Like it's never one of those things where you're, oh, I wish I didn't go. Whereas I feel like if I didn't go, I'd always be like, oh, I'd see pictures and be like, "Ew, I can't believe I'm not there, And so I think that's one of the great things about it is it's one of those you can't miss things and you'll never regret going.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, Vegas can be intimidating, but definitely easy entrance, like easy way to get involved. And you just go,
Gotcha.
just bring comfortable shoes. Whatever you do not bring high heels, wear comfortable shoes, and, just don't forget your business cards and go in with an open mind, open heart, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
find us because we'll you can eat with us and hang out with us, and we'll make sure like you're never by yourself. We'll be your new best friend, and you just didn't even know.
Yes. So, Erin, as we wrap things up, if someone listening to this, maybe they are not yet involved with NAHB YPs, what's the best way to get started? How can they get involved?
We have so many opportunities I think just people don't even know about. If you're not on the YP committee, but you kind of want to see what we're about, we have working groups that you can sign up to be a part of. You can just hop on and listen and see if it's something you're interested in or you're like, or even if it's something that, oh, this is what they do here, or this is information I can take back to my local or my YP, or just things to help you personally in your business. So we have those opportunities. We have our meetings. We have little local happy hour type things where we try and do a virtual meetup where everybody can kind of talk about what's going on at their local. So I think the virtual meetups are really everything that we try to do, we try to make informal and really welcoming so that everyone knows that they can speak up and we value what you say. We try to make it so there are no stupid questions because I promise I ask more stupid questions than anybody. I am the queen of them, but it's okay because I learned I don't know what I don't know. So I'm always up for learning new things and I'm fine being the one who looks stupid. So if you have a stupid question, just ask me to ask it and I'm good with it. We have awards coming up that is a really good opportunity to be recognized yourself or to recognize other young professionals at your local or state. The awards deadline has been extended through October 23rd. So please make sure to recognize it's truly an honor, and they are recognized on our website and through our social media, and it means a lot. And it's a good opportunity for someone who puts in the time and effort to be recognized and shown that they're appreciated. We also have committee appointments that are open for next year. Even if you're on the committee already, you always have to reapply to be on it again next year. It's so incredible, and it's a great opportunity. Make sure you apply and you put why. Put why you want to be on, and apply for YP, and apply for other committees as well, because it's not just about YP, it's about getting involved in the other ones as well. And that's what we really want is, here's your opportunity to get involved in all of NAHB, and we'll just help you get there.
Yes. And I would say one thing about the committee appointments is I think last year was the first year when we actually had more people wanting to be on the committee than we had seats available. So I would say don't get discouraged if you apply for something and the answer is no. Like don't take it personally. It's not a mark against you that like you're not worthy or whatever. There's a lot of things that are going on that they may be at capacity. They may have people that serve for, the previous years, whatever it can be. So don't get discouraged if you apply and the answer is no. Just keep going, keep swimming, right?
Yeah.
And always try next year. Speaking of the NHB YP awards, I would say I strongly encourage you to apply. As Erin said, October 23rd is the deadline, and you can just go to nhb.org and then type in YP awards. It'll come up for you, and you'll be able to fill it out, whether it's for yourself or somebody else, that a coworker, a friend, whatever. And, if you're in a position where maybe you're a solopreneur, whatever, you're by yourself, like, don't be shy, like nominate yourself. You gotta, hustle, and you gotta talk about yourself and why you deserve it if you have nobody to nominate you. So I've definitely been in those positions where I was running my own business, and I was lucky that I had friends who nominated me. But yeah, you can absolutely nominate yourself. So I will link all the resources under this podcast, so you guys will be able to check it out. The best way to get started with the YPs is, of course, get involved on your own local level. So you normally have either HVA or BIA. You would want you want to join your local. And when you join the local, it automatically gives you membership to the nationals. And your local may or may not have the YP chapter. So some have a YP chapter where you join locals, and then you can participate on a national level. Or your local may not necessarily have the YP chapter. In that case, you can join as a member at large. And so I think mine does not have a local YP. So, I'm involved on a national level, but not really on the local level. So again, I'll link to those resources below. And I'm sure if you have any questions, not to put Kimberly Matthew on the spot, but she knows kind of all the ins and outs of that process, not specifically to YP related, but just NAHB related, and she can guide you in that. Erin, as we wrap up this show, any last words to our listeners? Any piece of advice? Anything that I did not ask you today that you think is important for listeners to understand or to know?
I just encourage anybody who is not involved at the NAHB level that we welcome you. We want to hear your voices, even if you can't make it to the national meetings. Come hop on the virtual ones. Tell us what is important to you. Tell us what you need from us. Tell us what you want, because if we don't know, we can't provide it for you. So I just think your feedback is so important, and making sure y'all's voices are heard is really what we're here for. We're here representing y'all on the national level. So it's just making sure that you know that we're here for you. We're a resource for you. If you don't get on the committee, that does not mean anything. Please hop on as many calls, working groups. Would love to have you there. You can come to any of the national meetings and sit in our committee meetings. We're very open, and we're all about everybody's got a seat at the table as far as we're concerned. So just because you're not on the committee doesn't mean you're not on the committee. So we are happy, so excited for YP Week and so excited for everyone there. And thank you so much for the opportunity, Anya.
Well, thank you for being here. And before I let you go, pimp out Converge Resources. So if you guys are listening and you're like, I need staffing for, tell us how to find you, what do you do, what's the website, and who would benefit from this?
So it is Converge Resources, and we specialize in IT and automation, staffing, and recruiting needs. So we're a boutique recruiting and staffing firm, and we do manufacturing, anything IT related, cybersecurity, all kinds of fun stuff. And we would be excited to help anybody. And I'm your person to reach out to.
And how can they reach out to you? Or what's the best way to get a hold of you?
So you can reach me at my cell phone is 985-789-7776, or you can reach me at Erin@convergeresources.com.
Perfect. And I will link that information in the show notes as well. So, Erin, thank you so very much for being a part of today's podcast and telling your listeners all about your why. I commend your passion, and I think it shows every single person who meets you walks away feeling like you're just such a giving person. You're so dedicated and so passionate about this industry, and really shows. And so I feel we're very, very lucky to have you as our chair for the YT committee this year. So thank you for all the service that you provide to us. And I cannot wait to see you at IBS.
I know. I'm so excited. Thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.